Hello, everyone. Welcome to Whack Comics Live. We're here with Tyler. Tyler, as always, ready for Wednesday. How you going, Tyler?
I'm good.
Good. Yeah, awesome. We've also got a couple of guests with us. We got Derek and Connor with us from Dynamic Comics. How you going, guys?
It's going good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm going all right. Can't quite hear you there, Connor.
Uh-oh. You got lag issues?
Oh,
we're here
yeah,
now.
I think it's a little delayed.
There we go.
But
They're coming through now.
I think that might be on my part.
Fair enough. But so yeah, let's just start this off. Why don't you give us a little bit of about yourselves and about Dynamic Comics?
Well, I think the main demand for right now, of course, is Dynamic Comics and how we got started. We started earlier this year around April. That was around the time that I started writing my first piece, Batman Fear of Gotham #1. Still, work in progress, but that's besides the point. We wanted to Connor and I wanted to create a platform where really all of the independent artists who aren't in, any sort of other comic studio to actually put their stories on a digital platform. And we want to basically, quote unquote, publish their work. And we want to support them in any way that we can, helping them get their name out there and all that stuff. So that was kind of our main goal before, branching out into what we want to do now. We want to help, create fan stories and all that stuff. And so far, it's going really well. I've talked to quite a few people already. So, I mean, can't say business is booming yet because, I still have a lot to do and lots of stuff to publish. Quote unquote, but everything's really doing good. I think the response from all the people on Instagram that I've talked to is really positive, and they are really, really supportive. Really, it's a great community to be with. But yeah, I mean, our main goal was really just to represent all of those independent artists and really just hunker down on getting their name out there. And I think that, the next few months and years doing this, we might actually get somewhere and actually have some really awesome comics.
Awesome. Would you say that all of the stories you have coming up are Batman related, or?
So far right now, I am writing Batman, but this is hard because it's like I want to reveal so much. We have so much in store for Dynamic. But I will say coming up in a bigger project that we'll soon announce, we're going to be announcing a crossover. There's going to be a really cool crossover. I was actually just at a friend's today who I'm co-writing this with. We were actually starting to outline all the stuff that's going to be in this crossover. So it's a really, really exciting story. It's going to be really trippy. It's going to be really trippy, but it's going to be a really, really awesome story. A lot of characters, a lot of just... It's just going to be insane. That's all I can put it right now. But I think with all the support coming in from Batman, it's really motivated me to do so much more. And it's really gotten us to Connor and I to the point that we want to do our own original thing coming up soon, sometime soon. I was actually about to mention how loaded my schedule was on my Instagram stories and everything. I have well over 30 projects coming up in the next in the next year, almost in the next year, I created a schedule, 3 issues a month from October now to October of 2021, and just almost 3 issues a month plus 2 huge pieces that are going to take me 2 months to do. I can just anticipate it right now. If you don't know, the Glorious Pictures, he's going to be doing an all CGI Batman movie, full length, 2+ hours, rated R, everything. And I talked to him about, doing maybe, a prelude series, and wasn't really taking it very literally. And now here I am. I'm about to, in January, I'm about to write a 70 to 100 page first issue.
Wow, that's cool.
And that's gonna take me a month. But yeah, so I set out my whole pretty much year coming up for Dynamic. It's all gonna be Batman, DC, a lot of DC. It's gonna be a lot of DC. But there's gonna be a lot of announcements coming soon. There have been teases and some reveals. I'm working with another artist at Leaking Color on Instagram. He is probably one of the best artists I've ever worked with. And we're going to be doing something really special for Batman coming up. That's going to be revealed in the next month or 2. So it's going to be such an amazing run. We have such an amazing story for it, and we really cannot wait for this Batman title. But it's going to be my longest run. I'll say that. I'm estimating it to be about 13 issues. So it's going to be quite interesting to just map out that entire story. And the first issue is written. Leaking Color actually did the first few pages already, and I'm just truly mind blown at all the art already. It's absolutely insane. But we're really excited to reveal this next Batman title. Here's a little reveal. But whoever's watching, you might want to listen in, probably grab some details. It's going to be a new Batman series. Really excited. It's been festering in my head since May, and now I finally wrote it last week, the first issue last week. So it's going. It's really going, and I really can't wait to see where it goes.
That's awesome. So that's on
Yeah,
top
that's
of
awesome.
all the comics that you like on the website say coming soon.
Yeah, you can probably tell if people who are watching and you guys, you've seen that Fear of Gotham has 4 issues. First one is Ready to Read. It came out on the 22nd of July, and we're working on issue 2 and 3. Xander Strub is doing issue 2. He's absolutely incredible. We cannot wait to see what he brings to the table with all the art. And we have for issue 3, Jordan Beatty, who's actually he's just absolutely incredible. And he's doing the art for issue 3, really bringing back the Batman 89 vibes. And I'm just beside myself whenever I see previews of all the sketches he's doing and the Batmobile that he's giving us, of course, taking notes from Lance Wilsh's issue 1 Batman design. But it's a truly, truly amazing look and feel to issue 3. But that's, of course, a little off topic. But issues 1 through 4, they're going to be, or 2 through 4, I should say, they'll be released periodically. Of course, I'll let everyone know. But as soon as they get done, of course. But another one is a project that Connor and I have been chipping out already. He's already getting giddy about it. It's a comic book called Batman Cirque Noir, and I'm gonna say it's probably my most ambitious story that I've written thus far. And that's saying something from creating a totally new villain introduced in Fear of Gotham, which you will see in the second issue. But and my ambition for Fear of Gotham was pretty crazy with the villain. You'll see soon. Yeah, my most ambitious story. It's probably the darkest piece I've ever written. Batman Cirque Noir, as you can probably tell by the title. It's incredibly just it's like a Halloween story for Batman, but of course it's not coming out in Halloween since we announced that it was going to be coming out in March, which we still hold by that fact. But it is truly probably my darkest piece that I've ever written so far, and it might be kind of an offset for some people, but there's a real big meaning to why we wanted it to be this dark tale. It's very Dick Grayson centric, and we really wanted to center it instead of the run by the mills Batman circus story. It was really going to be more centered toward Robin and his first year as a crime fighter, and trying to solve this big innuendo of where is my master, where is my master, where is the person who saved me, where is the person that actually took me in when I felt lost, where do I find him? And it's going to be this really, really interesting tale of trying to overcome all of these villains and actually try and find Batman if he's still alive from all of what the villains have been doing. And everything that all the villains have pulled off is something that none of them have ever seen before. And it's going to be a really interesting thing to see all of the audience's reaction, to see what they think and how it's more like, how the hell did they pull that off, without getting caught, but they somehow did. So it's going to be a really interesting story, but it was probably the most fun I've had writing the story. So, yeah. And Connor is just bringing such an incredible style to the table. And he's already been telling me that, there are certain scenes that he is bringing probably his most dark imagery in. And I just get so giddy.
As someone who's been behind the scenes and know what Derek has given me, like I know what's coming in the story, I can say that a lot of people will be excited and will read it all the way through with such enthusiasm as me bringing the art to the table. I have never had such a riveting Batman story in my hands before. I've never gotten to illustrate something like this before. People are going to fall in love with it as I did. And I'm trying to be really careful about what I say because I know everything that happens. So I need to make sure that I don't let something slip. And that's why I've been a little quiet because I've just been thinking about what to say.
Yeah, fair enough. Like, I want to come back and ask you some questions in a second, but that sounds really cool. I just want to address the chat and the lovely people in the chat that just joined us really quickly. We got a Gray Man. Thanks heaps, Gray, for joining us. You haven't heard of you want to click the link where you next time. You haven't heard of Dynamic Comics, but you should really get into it. I dropped the link into the chat, so pop onto that and have a look at the website. And they've got the first issue ready to read already. Thanks, Justin, for coming in and joining us. Stephen, thanks heaps for coming in. Martin, Master Ben, we're seeing you around, Master Ben. Thanks.
God, I recognize all these people.
Yeah, that's great. Michael, thanks heaps for joining us. My Milo brother, Panda Awesome, thanks heaps for coming in, mate. And I think I got everyone there, but I've got the first issue up here, and I want to, in a minute or so, maybe wouldn't mind if it's all right with you guys, doing a bit of a screen share and just showing off the first couple of pages. But
sure,
I want
go ahead.
Yeah, awesome. But first, before I get to that, I just want to ask Connor, like, there's some really amazing dynamic panels that really surprised me when I was reading this. So I just want to ask you, how long did it take to draw this first issue? And
for Fear of Gotham?
Yeah, the one that's available out now. Yeah.
That is actually by another artist. My first debut is with Cirque Noir. Derek knows all about the process with Fear of Gotham, though.
Yeah, it's
My
all
bad.
good. That's all good.
No, it's all good.
It's yeah. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you this much: we have so many artists either coming to us or we go to them, and they're always the ones that are so enthusiastic in accepting the offers. So when we first got Lance Wilsh, who did the art for Fear of Gotham #1, I thought it was like the biggest strike home, you know. But now that I look at it, you know, I mean, everyone that we've brought on is absolutely incredible, and I'm so grateful for every single one who has even just laid their pencil on the paper of something that is going to be drawn for Dynamic. Really, I'm just so grateful for each and every one of you guys. But the process for Fear of Gotham, because since it was technically my first comic book that I've ever written, you know, the first issue was kind of a rocky start. I wouldn't say rocky start, but it was more of, you know, a starting point of like, all right, so how should I go about doing this? So I've had this villain pitch, you know, really just in my head for over a few months, and I was just thinking to myself, I should really, you know, write this down. And at first, Fear of Gotham was originally because I had some screenwriting background. I wanted to do some sort of film later on, maybe, you know, short film, whatever. And then I just decided, you know what would be good, because I was getting back into comics. I wanted to just write up, you know, a comic run out of it. So, you know, I just started it up. You know, I didn't really think it would go much anywhere, but here we are. Here we are doing all this. But yeah, it was just a crazy turn of events, because I just didn't know what to expect out of Fear of Gotham, and all the support that it's given me was just truly amazing. But
awesome. Here, I'm gonna quickly share the screen.
Oh, sure.
Work out how to do this. Hopefully I get the right one going. There we go.
Lance does some very he does some very riveting perspective work throughout this issue. It's like actually mind-blowing to me, because I strive to have the same understanding of perspective in my art, but the way he draws the Batmobile, the way he draws the buildings, it just catches your attention right away, even with that first cover, the first page, all of it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, and that cover was actually done at least a day or two before we actually released Fear of Gotham #1. So it was pretty stressful, but it was just getting to see you know, the cover for the first time, and then writing in the credits and everything. It was just such such an electrifying moment, you know, just seeing this whole piece come to life, you know, in the way that it did. And it was absolutely insane. Just seeing everything that Lance did was just beyond anything I've ever imagined this series to be. And now to have Xander and Jordan kind of be the successors to Lance's art is just, it's so amazing just to see what they put on the table and see what their style kind of just combines with his, and just to tell this whole unique story it's just going to be really an interesting process, and see how everything comes together. And look at that, Leaking Color is in the chat. How about that? As I was talking about him. But that's awesome. All of you guys in the chat, thank you so much for coming. It just means so much to me. Thank you all. But I was just talking about you. I was just talking about Leaking Color stuff on our new Batman run. Nothing revealed yet. I will be revealing that soon. But yeah, everything with Fear of Gotham was even just the first issue was more of a test. Honestly, it was more of like a test run of how I could just do this. Like how am I going to do this? And then I just spent, at least a week editing the thing when it really should have taken me like maybe a day or two. But it was absolutely just such an amazing experience, just getting the art, in seeing it for the first time and just getting all giddy about it. It was really awesome to see it all. Just to see it all come together is just so rewarding.
So will all your stories that you've been talking about this whole time, will they all be available on Dynamic Comics?
For sure they will. Yeah, they will be on Dynamic Comics' website. I don't know when they'll release. I mean, we do have a date locked in for Cirque Noir. We don't want to reveal it just yet. We might even reveal it. We'll think about it. But we don't want to keep any promises, we don't want to rush art per se. Yeah, all the stuff coming to Dynamic is going to be pretty much all of the stuff that I've been working on. Hopefully some other stuff with some other people. Like, as I said, I have been going around and talking to different independent creators and seeing if they want to get their stories out on a digital platform. And they've been so just excited and generous, and it's just such an awesome community. Just like as I've been raving about for the past 20 minutes now, it's just so amazing to talk to all these different creators.
And there's a list of some of the creators here. That's a huge list of artists you got them for variant covers. That's so cool to see.
Oh yeah, this is a funny story. Connor and I, we originally wanted to do five variant covers, just 5 variant covers for Cirque Noir. We didn't want to do anything more, nothing too crazy, just to see who would be interested. And within 5 hours of that post going live, it was all filled, and we were so blown away that we wanted to do 10. We wanted to do 10 covers. And then that blew it out. That just blew the number out of the water. So now we're up to 13 total variant covers coming up for this book. And mind you, it's 58 pages of story. So it's going to be a good 70, 75 pages of a book with the variant covers and all that stuff included. So it's just such amazing to see all the support. And I mean, I'm still getting approached by some people. Like last week or 2 weeks ago, I got approached, asking if they could do a cover, and all the stuff that I've been seeing from the artists, seeing their sketches, their baseline thoughts, and all that stuff. It's just so awesome to see all their contribution and all of their passion put into this piece. And they haven't even read the story yet. And they're, it's just amazing just to see all of the passion and the excitement and the anticipation into Cirque Noir, when Connor and I only thought about for what it was only like, it was during a production meeting, because we originally met on a Spider-Man animated series kind of production team. And I reached out to him when we started the work on Fear of Gotham, asking if he wants to do the cover of the graphic novel, which actually on the screen share, that's actually the very first post on the Instagram thing. On the Instagram, thing, totally. The Instagram, I guess, I don't know what you call them, more like, choices to see which, what posts and everything. Yeah, that one. That is the cover that Connor did for the graphic novel, and it's mind-blowing. And then, it was in April when we actually, started work on that cover, and just the sketches alone and the inks coming in, just it was crazy just to see that whenever this story would be finished, this cover would be on that actual book. And it's very, very it's just amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Just still looking at it, it's just mind-blowing to see all that detail. Like, seriously, Connor, like, I'm still mind-blown from it.
Thank you. It was at the beginning of quarantine, it was such like a new experience for me, because was the first gig that I've actually hopped on for comics and things like that. For the longest time, I've never known what I really wanted to do, but I found joy in like breaking the ice with Derek and finding what we both enjoy about Batman and having that incorporated in each of the stories and what we want to see visually and told to each of our audiences. And getting that first cover out was really just like, it was so unreal to me that like we started building this audience of people who are excited, other artists who are coming together for each of these stories, and then just seeing an overall support from everyone for everything that we've been doing. And as the artist for Cirque Noir, I'm very, very excited to show everybody what I've been working on. And as Cirque Noir came around after a meeting that we had with the animated Spider-Man series, and we had just like been going back and forth about, I need to watch what I say here, but it was just kind of like that brainstorming dogfight that you have, where it's like, what if this happens? What if this happens? What if this? And this just accumulated into this 58-page story from like Derek's geniusness. And
I'm flattered. Yeah, I mean, what was it? It just all came from like, what if Batman is in the circus? And then we were like, that's genius. Like, it's like we've never, it's like, I mean, I'm sure people have thought about it before, but you know, but we put our own spin on it. And honestly, it's absolutely insane. Like, the whole story is just absolutely insane. As best as I can put it, at least. Everything about it, I just had so much fun writing it, like I've said. And just hearkening back to that production meeting, we were just like, we weren't even serious about this thing. Like, we weren't even serious about anything of that sort. We were just like, okay, well, what about Batman in a circus? And I was just like, wow. Wow. You know, it was kind of evident that, like, you know, people might speculate that the Joker's a villain and stuff, but prepare to be very wrong. Let's say that. Let's prepare to be very wrong. But it was such an awesome experience writing Cirque Noir and seeing Connor's work. Just the first 10 pages alone that I got to see last month, almost exactly last month, just so amazing. I had to write up an Instagram post for it, and I never usually do because I like to keep things hush hush sometimes, but I was blown away to the point that I had to let it out and talk about it and actually amp up people that saying that this is going to be huge. So, and I still stand by that fact that that this story is going to be huge. So, it's been such an awesome experience working with Connor, and really, it's going to be such an awesome next few years. Connor and I together, we're really going to knock up some really awesome stories for you guys, and we really can't wait to start on an independent run, which we've been talking about for a little while now. So it's going to be an awesome few years with us at Dynamic.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was pretty interested to see that you went the route of doing this Batman comics to start with instead of your indie project or whatever. But I got to say, I'm really loved the first issue, and like I'm really excited now for everything else to come. Like you've got me even more hyped for Circus Noir, Circus Noir one. Yeah, it's going to be a good time. I'm really looking forward to seeing the stuff that comes out of your camp. It's really cool. But can I ask there, what made you decide to go for the Batman route first instead of just knocking up some indie comics to start, sort of thing?
I think it was more because I've grown up with Batman and I really just appreciated the character. And when I was going back into comics, that was the first character that I actually started reading again. And I think just going with what you're most comfortable with and having that knowledge of the character, I think is going to be the thing that, you know, you really succeed at. So having the prior knowledge, I think, of, you know, who the character is, what are their motivations, all that stuff. I had that in the bag. So all I had to do was just, you know, write up the story, and then in came that villain idea that I had. And I said, well, what if we pitted this villain against Batman? And then, you know, that's how it happened. You know, it was more really, of course, just about the prior knowledge that I had with Batman, and I wanted to do something different. And I think this was probably, back then, I think that was more of the best way to do it. And I honestly, like, I really didn't think about it. Like I was more of saying, I'm just going to write this and I'm going to see where I land. You know, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And now that I'm just getting so much support from everyone here on the stream, seeing all these comments, and everyone who I've been chatting with, all the artists and all the amazing talent, it's just absolutely incredible. And now I'm dead set on writing comics for as long as I live. So and it's just all the support that's just motivated me. Really, it's been all the support. You know, and I even said in an earlier post a few days ago that I wouldn't have had to be writing comics to be so supportive of everyone. I just had to be myself. And me being, you know, generous I wanted to go out there and support all these other artists. So the motivation for Dynamic came in immediately. And, you know, just writing Fear of Gotham was kind of the subplot almost, you know, and I just wanted to support everyone. I mean, I could have not wrote any comics. I could have just supported people, but I chose to write comics and work with people that I've been supporting. And this is where I am now, and I can't thank anyone enough.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. It's like not waiting to for things to get handed to you kind of attitude. You know, you're just like picking it up and like I'm going to do this, and I'm not going to wait for the green light to do it. And here it is. It's really cool. I love that kind of motivation. It's really cool to see. Have you approached DC about, like what you've done, like, to show them, like, look, this is what we're doing?
I haven't, but I think if I ever choose to actually maybe self-publish, because they actually do give an option to self-publish with DC or whatever. I don't know the terms and policies of it right now, but they do give that option and all that stuff. But I mean, I would definitely contact DC, but I think just getting to know different people who are inside that that actual company, I think, is probably a better way to actually get myself known inside the company. So, I in August, I actually met Scott Snyder just on, a quick Zoom call, just a meet and greet, really. And I pitched some stuff for Fear of Gotham to him. And he really loved what I was going for. And the best advice that I've gotten, and especially from him, was just don't stop. And that's what I'm doing. I'm following my literal idol's ways.
That's amazing. I love Scott Snyder too, if it isn't painfully obvious, with the Batman #1 sitting right in the center there.
Honestly,
it's really cool to
that
get
is
that
honestly the
done.
most warming sight I've seen. Just seeing that right now is just like, okay, we have a Snyder fan. I can talk Snyder. I can actually like nerd about Snyder. Yeah, just getting the advice from Scott and getting the support really just meant so much. And it was honestly probably one of the best days that I've had this year. And, you know, all combining, of course, with all the support that I've gotten through writing my stories and everything, this is just making my year, and a year that's been just so messed up. I mean, I can't say it's like a good year, but it is a good year for me because I get to do what I love, and I finally actually found what I wanted to do. So that was.
I sort of feel the same.
Yeah.
That's why I started this YouTube channel. You know, and it's been great.
Oh, for sure.
But like the year in total hasn't been that great. But for me, I'm making the best of it, and it sounds like you are too. So it's awesome.
Yeah, it's a crazy year. Let's just put it that way. It's an absolutely crazy year, and having all of the support and all the advice that I've gotten from Scott and everything, it's made my year. Like I could say that I can skip to 2021 now, and it's like I could throw this all out and just start fresh, but I don't want to do that because of just how much support I'm getting. You know, it's like 2020, when you think about it now, it's like, oh, can we just time travel? Like, can we just time travel to the next year, please? You know, and now that I actually know what I'm doing, you know, with Batman Cirque Noir, with Fear of Gotham, all that stuff, and especially the projects that are coming up with Leaking Color and all that stuff, I don't want this year to end. I really don't want this year to end because I want to actually let this play out, and I want to see just how much, you know, enjoyment and how much love I'm going to get from all of this. And you know, it's not like I'm attention, you know, I'm an attention seeker. It's more of trying to see where I can actually get, where I can go right, where I can go wrong. I want to get that feedback, but just the all around support, it's been overwhelming. And I just can't, I mean, it's like I sound like a broken record when I say I can't thank them enough, but I really just can't. It's the only thing that comes to my mind whenever I get a compliment or just anything. It just means so much to me, really.
So Connor, now that we've gotten to see your art, do you also color your own work, or?
I do. I do color, in fact. So all of Cirque Noir, you will see the inks are done by me, the color is done by me, but all the writing, of course, is done by Derek.
Oh wow, that sounds like a lot of work.
It's a lot, but I've had a really smooth process so far. Just I'm still a young artist, so I'm still finding my style and finding my workflow and how fast I can get pages done and what looks good and what doesn't. Taking inspiration from artists like Sean Gordon Murphy, David Finch, all the great ones. But it's been really great so far.
Are you on Instagram?
I am on Instagram. The name on the screen, Connor the Draw, is my Instagram.
Okay. Awesome.
Let's see if I can get Instagram up and get your account up, and we'll have a little bit of a look at that while we're here too. Give me a second.
Awesome.
To see if I can do that.
Yeah, just looking at chat. I mean, guys, you guys, man, this is crazy. Just seeing all the support. Like, you guys, come on. This is too much sometimes. Like, I mean, it's not too much, but it's more of just too much in support. It's like, I don't have to do this, you know, but I chose to, and now I'm getting all this. And it's like, does it really balance out? You know, it's absolutely amazing with all the support. Really, it's truly amazing. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. So here we are. We're at Connor the Draw's Instagram page. Go give him a follow on Twitter. But let's have a bit of a flick through. Anything that you want to stop on specifically and talk about, Connor, just give us a holler as well.
That one panel right there with the Batmobile is the first actually of many teasers that we will release until Cirque Noir actually releases digitally. We will do that quite a couple times. We're actually planning our next teaser that we're going to do really soon. So make sure you guys are stay tuned for that. But
Awesome.
Yeah,
It wouldn't let
that's-
me click onto it, but I tried to zoom in as much as possible so everyone can have a look, hopefully.
Yeah, and that panel alone, I mean, that's only like half of the panel, actually. That's really only half the panel. But just seeing that with the lettering and seeing everything kind of come together like that was just so awesome. And all of Connor's work is just extravagant, really. It's so extravagant.
This one here is amazing, Connor. This one here, that's so cool.
oh, thank you. I really that was my first time using gouache paints. I wanted to follow in the footsteps of Alex Ross by using my own references as far as lighting goes, and of course using all the resources I have. That was a huge project on my end. It took a lot.
How'd you find using that medium? I've tried it before, and it gets really messy. And it takes a while to dry.
Oh yeah, it's really versatile, but it's also very intimidating to get used to at first. But I find it really a lot more fun than watercolor because of its opaqueness and how thick you can get the colors out and all of it. It's really fun to play with. It's really
Here's a better
fun.
look of that cover you were talking
I love
about.
That's both of those Batman are awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I really, The Dark Knight Returns Batman will always be my favorite to draw.
Yeah, and that was really our Batman for Fear of Gotham. As you know, some readers do know, we are using the Batman Returns suit, or Dark Knight Returns suit. I'm sorry, that's a little disgraceful for me to say. But yeah, the Dark Knight Returns suit is our suit for Fear of Gotham, and of course, it's going to take place post Dark Knight Returns. And I think I can shed some light on this new villain character, just so I can get some reveals in for some people here. So without giving spoilers, because this character is a major spoiler in himself, just because of who he is and why he does it and everything. But this character's name, as I've kind of liked to call him, his name is going to be Panic. And now, right off the bat, some people might think that he might be a ripoff of Scarecrow or anything. Let's just say no, he's probably more terrifying than Scarecrow because of how practical his fear is. The ways of how he spreads fear are the real scary part, honestly. And getting to play with this character that's been festering in my head, and a character that's been used in Batman media before, that's been really liberating to kind of just take this character to a new extent. And he hasn't really, his character in the comics and in film hasn't really been used that much, but he's been in pretty much almost all the Batman media, I'd say, without giving anything away, of course. But I guess that gives enough clues for everyone to start taking notes. But he's not crazy in the sense of insanity levels, but he's more or less crazy on his views of justice. I'd say that his views of justice are very, very clouded. He believes that Batman is doing something's very wrong, like ending the threats. Like he doesn't want to end the threats because he doesn't kill. So Panic goes very much against Batman's ways, and he believes that the way to permanent justice is to permanently end the threat. And I think that this character, even when I've had discussions with this Panic character with Connor, he's a very real world character. I'd say he's a very I wouldn't say prominent. I really say that he's very symbolic to our world today. It's a very big symbol of what's going on today. And I mean, nothing in particular, but more or less of just justice itself. You know, there's a lot of violence going on, and threats, I mean, of course, are made. And I think that, you know, even though he's a villain, he does have some justifiable points whenever he actually, you know, goes and, I wouldn't say monologue, because there's another issue that I actually wrote for another project that you will see soon. And he actually kind of goes in depth on his backstory and his motivations. And he does bring the point of really just saying that, you know, this certain type of people in Gotham are the real villains of this, of society. And I don't want to spoil it, but because if I give whatever group of people out, they're going to be like, okay, so it's this guy. No, I'm not going to do that. So really, he's not necessarily pointing the fingers to anyone. He's more pointing the finger to a certain group, not to anyone as a person, but it's been more of a person that Batman has protected. Or not more of a person, but more of a group that Batman has protected, because Bruce was once that group before. And Panic actually puts the blame on that group for creating Gotham's most notorious monsters. And this is why Gotham is threatened oh so oftenly. It's because this group of people have been really just been the monsters the whole time, because they were the ones who actually created these villains like Man-Bat, like Clayface, like Mr. Freeze, like all these different villains. They are kind of the backbone, and he wants to get rid of that backbone. That's the best I can put it, honestly. I wish I could give spoilers. I wish I could talk about it, but that I think alone, really does give. I think that just gives enough insight into the character for now. But you will see him in issue 2 of Fear of Gotham, and you will see him in issues 3 and 4. There is a major spoiler in number 4, all about him. So I think I really do suggest reading up to 4, of course, for the whole series, and getting to see who this person is. And it was an awesome time writing him, because it was technically an original villain. Honestly, it was more of an original villain than anything. But just writing him alone was really, really fun, and getting to play around with Batman's motivations and really just how Panic knows who Batman is. He basically has known him all his life. And I think it's going to be a really, really cool, really cool moment for the readers to see who this is. So, and I think it's going to be a lot of shock. I think people are going to be really shocked after they read issue 4, because I think issue 4 was our big home run, our big climax of what this whole story of Fear of Gotham is. And it's really a tale that harkens back to pretty much all the origins. It's really, really awesome. It's a really awesome ending, and I think people are going to go pretty crazy when they see the quote that Panic reveals himself to be. So that's all I'm going to say about Panic before giving away anything. Yeah, but I like to really put a lot of different insight into characters. I've written pretty much. I've written some villain-centric stories already. I've written something for Two-Face. I've written something for Man-Bat. I've written something for Joker and Mr. Freeze. I like to give my own kind of perception on villains, and I think getting to play with them in their own story, like what I've done so far, I think has been really fun, and I think it's a really new, interesting take to them, and I think people are really going to like what they see.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. When I was chatting with Lee about you possibly coming on, he was like, "Yeah, here it is. Here's the website if you want to check it out." So I read it, and I was like, "Man, this is awesome." I read Batman. He's like my favorite character. It's really one of the main characters that got me into comics like 5 years ago. So when I read it, I was like, okay, it's free on Dynamic Comics. So I was really interested to see what it would be like. And I loved it. And I was like, we really got to interview these guys. It's so good. And then Lee read it and he loved it too. So I'm really
Thank you so much,
excited
guys.
to see where this Panic guy and where it goes. That sounds awesome.
It's going to shock people. I'm going to say that. I think because I remember tossing the story over. Well, I didn't toss the story over. I really actually pitched the story, and then I sent Connor the scripts as well. Because I mean, like, he's my co-publisher now, and I think that anything I write, I think I'm just going to give to him, just so he can be like the little guinea pig, I guess, of everything. I mean, of course. Not like you're a guinea pig, Connor. I'm more like, hey, you should check this out. Check out what I wrote. But even he was like, I am at a loss of words right now. So I think it's really going to surprise a lot of people, and I'm really excited to see all of people going crazy in the comments section. Thank you guys for reading issue 1. It really means a lot, and that's only the first test of what I've done in my comics. And I'm going to tell you, the quality is going way up with Cirque Noir. The bar has been set with Cirque Noir, and it's only going to get higher as we go. And this next run that I will be doing with teaming up with Leak and Color and everyone who will end up asking me, or I go to, will be really, really interested to see this next story, which I will be revealing within the next month or two. So I would definitely say to everyone in the chat and you guys to really keep your eye out for anything that might pop up. So there have been teases going around, and there have been some pictures of some insider stuff going around, and I think that's the main thing that's been building the hype for this. And I haven't really hyped it up yet, but I really do plan on hyping it up within the next, month or two. And people are already, I mean, one person in particular is just cannot, like, they're not physically able to wait. So, I mean, just getting to know all of that is just, it's awesome. It's really just awesome to see all the support and people's anticipation for pretty much all the stuff that's been festering in my mind for a few months now. It's really awesome.
Do you post any of when it'll come out on any social media like Twitter or Instagram?
Yeah, I will, and I do post all that sort of stuff. But it's more of, because everything with Dynamic is kind of just getting started right now. But as we go along, by March and really later into 2021, I think we're going to have, the start of an actual digital library. And it's going to be a crazy next few months. It's going to be a really interesting next few months. And just seeing all of the people who are involved with Cirque Noir, all the people involved with Fear of Gotham, and all the people who are kind of just starting to get on the bandwagon for this next run. It's just amazing. It's absolutely amazing just to see all of the people who are so passionate about what I've been doing, and people who have been there since Fear of Gotham #1 came out, and even when it first got announced. It's been such an awesome experience. So thank you guys, really.
No worries at all. We really appreciate you coming on to the show. I think we'll start to wrap it up now, coming up to the end of the hour. But a little thing that I always like to do when we're live here is just because we're on different parts of the world, is just ask what time it is. It's 7:56 a.m. on a Monday morning here in Australia.
Yeah, that's a great way to start your Monday morning with a Batman interview. How about that?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it's coming up on 6 o'clock here, and one thing I did promise to bring to this live stream was a look into what's coming up next.
Yeah, sure. If you want to plug that before we go.
Well, nothing with this new Batman run. I'm actually going to talk about what's coming up. Yeah, you know what, the hell of it. I'm gonna talk about this next Batman run just a little bit, just to get people, hopefully on board with this. This next run that I started writing, like I've said, it's going to be hopefully projected 13 issues, and I'm just gonna put the pitch out there. So this next Batman comic is going to be set on a different Earth. It's going to be Earth number 118, which no one has seen before. And why? Because number one, I made it up, and number two, it's actually going to be a really interesting Gotham to explore, because I'm actually establishing a totally different world into this new Gotham. And the big pitch is going to be Batman in a Victorian style Gotham. And it's going to be high-rising buildings, gargoyles galore. And the biggest thing that's going to happen in this series is we're going to be combining the origins of almost all of Batman's rogues, and it's all going to be tied together all in one bow. And we're going to be establishing this new Gotham, this new world, technically, because we've never seen Gotham essentially in a Victorian environment. I mean, sure, it's inspired by Gothic buildings, but this is directly Victorian. Everything about it is going to be so detailed, and the first issue is going to be really, really grounded. It's going to be a really grounded take into Batman's second year of crime fighting. And it's going to be a really interesting turn of events, because Batman's an urban legend, but people are kind of starting to get used to him. I mean, people still fear him, but it's going to be something happens, and it's going to be absolutely huge. And I think it's going to put a lot of shock into readers seeing these new interpretations of villains that I've come up with. And they are going to look the same. They are going to act the same. I wouldn't say look the same. I'd say more act the same, actually. But they're going to definitely act the same, but they're going to look a lot different from what you guys know them. Like, maybe, for example, let's say Mr. Freeze, he's going to look a little bit more different, a little more Victorian, a little more, gears and all that stuff on his.
Gray Man's asking, is it like a Gotham by Gasman-esque type thing?
Yeah, actually. We did take some inspiration from Gotham by Gaslight. Not a direct copy, but it's going to be totally original. It's going to be a really cool new spin on the rogues. It's going to be a really, really cool just look into what another Earth looks like, and what another Batman looks like. Like it was actually a question that I've had in my head, actually. Like, what does a Batman on another Earth look like? Because we only know Batman from basically what we know him from, and seeing him from a different angle, and seeing him from just a new world, technically. Because what Leak and Color and I have been doing is we've been establishing world building and all these new methods of going about places. Like Batman, he's not fully developed. He's a brute. He's an actual brute. He's gonna hit hard. His moral code is there, but he's still a brute, and he doesn't really have much of a cape that he can glide around in. And he actually is going to be building jumping most of the time. And it's going to be really just grounded in reality, and seeing what this new Gotham looks like is going to be really cool. And it's going to be really surprising to some readers what we do with this new series. So expect some teasers soon. I don't know when we're going to release the first issue. We haven't officially announced it yet. I am not giving the title because it might blow some people away. But we're not going to give the title just yet. But Gotham by Gaslight is an inspiration mainly. But we want to do something really different. And
that sounds really cool. It sounds like there's a lot to look forward to coming from the Dynamic Comics camp there.
Yeah, and that's just a fraction of what's coming. You guys are only scratching the surface. Like I said, I have well over 30 projects in the works within the next year. And this is only, hopefully 13 issues out of that 30. You guys are only scratching the surface of what's coming in the dynamic verse of Batman, and really what we're doing with comics. So I think a lot of people are going to have a lot to look forward to in the next year or two. So it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the first issue. I can't wait for more to come from you. So there it is. There's the website there on the screen. I dropped it in the comments, but it's also in the description below if you want to click on that. Well, this will be our plater for people on the replay if you want to catch it later. But I just want to thank everyone that's joined us live, and that's everyone that's hung around for the hour. It's been a really good chat. I've enjoyed learning about Dynamic Comics, and you've made me a fan, and I'm definitely keen to see how more of this goes. It's an interesting, very interesting idea.
Thank you all, guys. I've been watching all the comments and everything. Thank you guys, too. Really, all the support.
Thank you all so much.
Awesome. All right, so just before we go, let the people know where they can follow you on the social media.
All right, so it's gonna be for my tag. It's at I'm Derek Reide. So I'm sure someone will put the tag in the chat or somewhere. I don't know where, but you guys can follow me at I'm Derek Reide, all one word, because you can't really put any space bars. But you can follow me there on Instagram. That's really it. Or you can just keep track of the Dynamic Comics website, because there's going to be a lot of stuff coming soon. And we're really, really excited to share with you what's been going on. It's going to be an awesome, awesome journey. And I can't wait to have you guys all in for it.
Awesome. And you're at Caught in the Draw, yeah?
Yes, the name that's on the screen right now, that's my Instagram, at Connor the Draw. Feel free to give me a follow if you guys want to. But thank you all for having me too, and having us come on.
No worries. We'd love to have you back maybe when you have another release out, and we can talk about your new release and stuff.
Oh, definitely. I would love to be back on here, man.
Awesome. So just before we go, we'd like to let everyone know next time we go live, we're going to be doing our 100 subscriber giveaway. We're going to be doing that away. We've got a bunch of other fun things planned for Halloween. We've got a couple of Halloween videos up, so go do those things. as always, go follow Shattered Glass Comic Reviews at Ready for Wednesday on Twitter for those dope comic reviews. And yeah, I've really enjoyed this. Anything else you want to say, Tyler, before we go?
No, I also reviewed this past one from Dynamic Comics, so go check it out. My review's on there, and spoiler, it was really good. I loved it.
Thank you. I will definitely check that out.
Yep.
Awesome. All right. See you later, everyone. I'll catch us next time.